we're going to go ahead and use this opportunity to show you bins and how the bins work. I've got my Three Stooges session open here, and I'm going to show you what I call over here the bin view. The bin view, when you open up a document, it's going to have at least two folders in it. It's going to have a master queues and a search results bin or folder. The master queues bin has every single queue you ever create in the program. Okay, even if you've created it in other bins in the program, everything will reside in the master queues folder. Even if you would inadvertently delete something here, any folder that you have here, if you were to delete something in this folder, it won't matter because everything is always in here. So just to show you real quick, we're going to create a brand new bin. So if you come under bins, the bins menu here, you can see we have a bunch of things we can do. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a new bin. You can also add a new bin by clicking on the plus button here. So we want to put some stuff in our new bin. Okay, so we're going to call this bin Curly because we want to find all of Curly's dialogue lines, right? Curly needs to loop tomorrow his dialogue lines. But he also needs to loop all of his vocal utterances. He doesn't like to do the two at the same time. He likes to do one on one day and his vocal utterances the next. All of his little vocal sounds. So what we're going to do here is we're going to come into we're going to search for all of Curly's cues. Okay. So in the master folder, whenever we search, we go to the folder that we want to search in, and we're going to bring up the search window, and we're going to select character here, and we'll look at the search window in depth later. But we're going to type in Curly here. It's in our pull down menu here. We have all of our characters there. And we're going to search for Curly. Wow, so look what we found. We have 9 cues for Curly, as the program tells us. And we're going to find all of his dialogue. So I was for onesies. Certainly, Judgy, the gate is locked. Raise your right hand. So all of these are his dialogue lines. So we're going to put these here. We can actually drag and drop. And I've just put these 3 dialogue lines in here. But besides dragging and dropping, you can also do something else. Let's select our vocal utterances. Hum, a, woo, woo, wah, and uh-oh. All right. Under bins, we can do what's called a new bin from selection, which will take whatever we've selected and create a new bin with it. So we're going to go ahead and label this bin Curly Vox Effects. All right. So between the 2 boxes, we've got 9 cues because the number here is on the side. So that's great, you know. But what happens if we want to, I don't know. What happens if we want to organize this a little bit better? Well, what we can do is under bins, we can create what's called a new bin group. And we'll label this bin group Curly. Curly, okay? And we can add bins or even other subfolders into these folders. So as you can see, we've put Curly Dialogue and Curly Vocal Effects. I'm just not spelling people's names today, right? Anyway, okay. We've put all of Curly's sub-cues into this main group bin. So whenever you have cues in a group bin, all the cues that are in subfolders show up in the main folder. So Curly here has 9 cues. Because this is a group bin, I can't delete them in here. Okay, but that's okay. We can delete them here if we cared to, and it will be reflected here in terms of numbers. But we're going to undo that, and so now for tomorrow we're going to shoot Curly, but because it's only a dialogue day, Curly doesn't like to do his vocal effects the day he does his dialogue. We're just going to shoot 3 lines of ADR tomorrow, which is pretty good. So this is the bins folder. Let me show you some other things here you can do. We're going to take all of the cues in our master cues bin. We're going to select Command A, and we're going then to, you can also, many items that are available up in these menus are also available when you either control click or you right click on your mouse. So we're going to go ahead and control click on our mouse, and we're going to go new bin from selection. That's going to copy all of the cues that were in the master cues folder and put them in a brand new bin. Okay, we'll just call this master. Now, the great thing about bins is that we can now, under the bins menu, even further organize these cues. So we can click split groups into bins, and we can divide them up by character, by version, by reason, by scene, by character and version, or by version and character. So let's go ahead and just do character. All right. We split up our bin. It's called, just labels it the same, adds a split on the end. You can relabel this if you wish. And we'll click here, and we can see that, oh wow, we've got cues for Polly the bird, Mo, Larry, Gail, the defense attorney, Curly, the judge, the prosecutor, the court reporter, Mo. Again, when you right click, you have options available. So we can sort the folder contents by cue count. So let's say we need to quickly figure out how many cues we have. Even though the program has a line count window, this is very helpful if you need to figure out how many cues you have. So again, the master split folder has every single cue, okay, that exists in folders below it, but it just gives you a bird's eye view of everything you have of the contents of this folder. So we can look at the court reporter, 14 cues, the defense attorney, Curly. Now, here's something very interesting. I'm going to get rid of Curly here, the 9 cues. Okay, I'm going to put my Curly in here. So now I've got, we'll delete this folder here. Remove folder. So now we've just got a very nice clean layout. We've got our master split. We've got a Curly subfolder that has 9 cues in it. And again, the master split folder should have the same number of cues in it that the master cues has. Okay. And so now we've got our folder with our subfolder with the 2 bins, and we've got our other bins as well. So you can see how, let's say you've queued up a film, and you know, and let's just say we've called it Temp 1. All right. Well, now you can keep all of your versions in a Temp 1 folder, and then you can add a new. Let's create a brand new bin. Let's call it Temp 2. And let's put our Reel 1, version 101. We'll just call that. I'll put it in our Temp 2 folder. All right. So now you can start queuing in here, you know, at this reel. So the subfolders give you just a lot of versatility, okay, in organizing your material. But we're jumping ahead, and we'll just call this disorder. Ugh. And we'll delete this. Okay, so this is our movie, and this is the bin window over here, the bin view on the left. So it really helps you just organize things. Now, just as a quick aside, whenever you conform anything, let's just, whenever you conform anything, it automatically gives you an option as to whether or not we're going to conform disorder, and we're going to, let's just add a real quick change note so I can show you this. Don't worry, we'll come back to all this in detail later. Change note in here that I just added in from another movie. And what we're going to do is we're going to conform just the, it doesn't matter, okay, because we're going to create a brand new version called test version, and we're going to conform the version disorder, which has 64 cues in it, with the following change note. So when we conform it, it asks us what we want to do. Do you want to conform all the cues in the version, or do you want to conform the cues you've selected? We'll go all cues, and then it asks you where would you like to put the cues. We can leave them in the bin we're currently in, or we can put them in a new bin, and we'll go ahead and create a new bin. So again, this is our brand new conformed bin. So you can of course move this around, you can add it to things. So when it comes time to do conforms, you can see how this becomes very quick, very easy, and it's very clean and very organized.